Hi, my name is Don Hulse. I'm a mining engineer by training, and I'm currently the Director of Mining Resources at Forte Dynamics. The keys to this update are that the new U.S. rules, which are known as SK 1300, are very prescriptive about what has to be done, but they are not very descriptive about how that one should do that, how one should meet those requirements. So what we are attempting to do is to build out the skeletal nature of the actual requirements into a more fully fleshed document that helps people and provides a guide as to how you approach the reporting.
I'm Taryn Flitton. I recently relocated to the US a year ago. I work for AngloGold Ashanti as VP Resource and Reserve, also in the regulatory environment, currently disclosing to the SEC as well as the JSE. We have got a number of chapters that we're going to be updating. So there'll be why is that SME guide there? There'll be a terminology section that gives you guidance around the terminology used as CRIRSCO, as this umbrella body. And then we move on to chapters around resource and reserve and what that is, around competency and responsibility, and then finally technical studies. So we covering the key sort of chapters that a normal CRIRSCO code would cover, but we're also bridging it to the individual sections of the SK 1300 that we need to cover.
My name is James Young. I'm manager of mine planning for Freeport-McMoRan, and I'm co-chair of the SME Resource and Reserves Committee. So the SME guide has been around in various editions or versions over the last 30 plus years, I guess. So started in 1991, I think, and as regulations and practices evolved over the years, the guide has evolved as well to what we're currently doing right now, in that with the SEC releasing the updates for SK 1300, definitely a need to modernize the SME guide and provide a link to the new regulations that the SEC has released, and the rest of the industry and the other codes in the other jurisdictions as well. So the updates that we're undertaking are really to take a new tone for the SME guide, and rather than being a prescriptive guide and being a link between the new regulations of SK 1300 and practice in the industry, and bring some awareness to the other codes throughout the industry as well.
My name is Stella Searston. I work with a small consulting group called Mine Technical Services. The guide is actually intended for companies themselves, so the company management, because company management are responsible for actually making public disclosure. The guide's also incredibly useful for the people we call qualified persons, so the people who actually take the legal responsibility for signing on scientific and technical information in public reporting. And so investors can say, I'm looking at a concrete plant here and a gold plant over here. Which one do I really want to put my money in? These are studies that are comparable. These are resources and reserves that are comparable. This is disclosure in and around how they collected the information. And now I can make an informed decision that actually my money is going to go to the concrete plant rather than the gold plant. The SEC themselves have actually acknowledged the importance of it, and it's become a real industry standard for the United States that if you're not sure of something, you go to the SME guide and you look up to see what you may or may not do. So the idea is to try and build on that, leverage on that, and still provide a useful set of information to industry and actually to the SEC themselves, because there are times when the SEC comes back and says, well, what is the industry practice? Well, then you go to the SME, because the SME is actually acknowledged as being the trend setter for what is actually industry practices.